Good morning. Good morning. My name is Mika Albania Oshoral, and welcome to Truth Matters Broadcasting, where we discern the truth about religion, the kingdom of the Most High God, Yahweh, and the church. I'm so excited to be here today. My message of inspiration is the potential of today, curiosity of tomorrow. The potential of today, curiosity of tomorrow, also that incorporates today, tomorrow. So this is going to be a very special one for us today. Very, very special one. And I'm glad and happy for you joining me all over the world today. For those who are joining me on YouTube and TikTok and Facebook, I just want to say thank you so very much. We're going to be encouraged today, but I want to talk to you a little about this broadcast and what we're about. Truth Matters Broadcasting is a broadcasting ministry for your learning, edification, and spirituality. That's what this is about. It's about you. It's really about you and understanding you when it comes to your walk with the deity Yahweh, the God who you are seeking to serve or worship. Now, I must say to you, we don't all worship the same God. We don't all worship the same God. We have gods that we worship, and there are many gods in the universe today, but there is only one true God. There is only one true God. Now, some say he's Jehovah, some say he's Yahuwah, Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, some say is God, God Almighty. They have so many different titles and so many different fake and false names for this one God. But there's only one God, and he has one name. Many, many titles, one name. He is Yahweh. His name is Yahweh. That was the name he told Masha, aka Moses, to tell the children of Yahosharal, aka Israel, that he is the God who brought them out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. We must understand historical facts. If you were here yesterday, I preached a very powerful message on my Facebook and YouTube. You can go check my YouTube out. Please follow, like, and share on these social medias. On YouTube, my name is Michael L. Sewell, SR. Go check that out. Facebook, Michael L. Sewell, SR. And on TikTok, Meka Albania Osharal. Now, Meka Albania Osharal is my Hebrew name. So I'll be pretty much soon to change my Facebook and my TikTok to Meka Albania Osharal, so you can find me all the way around. But you can find me. I preached a very, very interesting message yesterday because the goal was to bring you into an understanding of your history, where you are today as a believer, as one who claimed to believe in the one true God. My goal is to say, where are you today? Because if you don't know where you are today, you're certainly not going to know where you're going tomorrow. And you're certainly not going to, if you don't know where you are today, then chances are you don't know where you're coming from. So it's to have the true and right understanding of who you are and which God you serve makes the utmost difference to you as a believer. Now, let me put out a disclaimer. I don't usually do disclaimers, but I know in today's world you have to. I'm not your regular average preacher. Matter of fact, I'm losing some of you right now because you can't stay here unless the Most High God calls you. You will just click on here and then quickly click off because it's no interest to you. 2, I'm going to say some things that are going to hurt you to the core. I make no apology for it. Truth hurts. I don't know if you understand that, but the truth hurts, especially if you are living in untruth, if you're living in a lie. I am not here to argue with anyone over doctrinal differences or belief. That's not my goal. I have no intention of arguing with you. In the past, I used to do that. I say, hey, look at this, look at that, and we swap scriptures back and forth. That will not happen on this broadcast. You've joined this broadcast, you joined it by free will. I am airing this broadcast and I'm airing it by free will. I'm not being paid for this. The reward that I'm getting is to disseminate the information that was given to me. What you see is what you get. Thank you, my son. What you see is what you get. I am not proper here. And when I say I'm proper, I'm not your typical broadcaster where I act a certain way. I do crazy things like this. You probably would never see this on a broadcast. My nose is itching. And instead of going to commercial, I can blow my nose right in front of you. And why? Because I'm a regular guy. What you see is what you get. If you see me and meet me today, you would see this is who I am. This is who I am all the time, always. If you see me in a gathering, if you see me in a bit, this is who I am. I know how to act in certain situations, but this is who I am 100% of the time. So let me say, I'm not here to argue with you. If for some reason you don't like what I'm saying, you can simply click. TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube have other broadcasting, other teaching, other things that are going on. You can simply just move to the next one. You do not have to stay here and argue with me. I'm not going to argue with you. I will be teaching things and saying things again against what you have already been taught and believe. Why? Because I once believed the things you've believed, and I was once taught the things you taught. But when I've given my mind over to Yahweh, to the one God, and I start to think and really focus my attention on him and keep my blinders on and look at him only, he's showing me things that sometimes I have to ask him, why do you show me these things? There are others out there that is better, that is more righteous, but it is what it is. So I will say things to you that will blow you away. Like, for instance, I will say to you that we probably do not worship the same God. Now, I told you earlier that there's more than one God, but there's only one true God. People have made themselves gods and worship statues and stones and sticks and images, and they have set up these images on their high places to let you know that these are the gods that they worship. For instance, if you come from the United States of America and you look at the Capitol, the building, on top of the building, there's a statue on the top of the building. Now, they'll tell you it means something else, but that's a god up there. And I'm here to tell you that America is not a Christian. Let me rephrase that. America is a Christian nation. America is not of God. God is not the God of America. Let's put it that way. God is not the God of America. Okay? The God that I worship, the only true God that I worship, his name is Yahweh. And he is the God of the Hebrews. Now, he created the entire world, the entire universe. But all the world belongs to him. But he said in Deuteronomy, if you obey my voice and do my commandments, statutes, and precepts, he says, you will be a peculiar people above all people, because all the earth is his. He have a worship. He have a people. He has a people who don't know him. And he has come back to bring his people unto himself. The God that I worship, and I'm doing this to weed out those so that we can really focus on those who really come to hear. The God that I worship is a single God. He's not one in three or three in one. The God, Elohim, that I worship is a single God, and there is none like him. He's the only true God, and there's none like him. That's number one. He's not a trinity. I do not worship a triune God, a trinitarian God. I worship a single God. And he have a Mashiach, a Messiah, his word that became flesh and dwelt among us and taught us Torah. This son, a word that our even angel, his name is not Jesus. His name is Yahoshai, Yahoshai. The word that became flesh and brought us back to Torah. The greatest commandment is to love the Most High with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength. The second is like the first, love thy neighbor as thyself. Love thy neighbor as thyself is written in the Torah. It's not written in the 10 Commandments. So just so you understand, Grand Rising, my sister Audrey. Grand Rising. All right. So as we build our TikTok and we build up, I'm going to go back to asking you guys where you are and where you're calling from, where you're viewing from, and so on and so forth. But for right now, I just want to get into the message. All right. I just want to say thank you again for joining me, and I appreciate all of you that are here, that stuck around. As you can see, we have already weed out the weeds. For those who have stuck around, I am here to tell you, you're in for something this morning. You're going to be greatly blessed this morning. The potential of today, curiosity of tomorrow. The potential of today, curiosity of tomorrow. That is my title today. And for those who are watching on TikTok, I just titled it Today, Tomorrow. Today, tomorrow. Why? Because you can't get all of that on TikTok. So today, tomorrow. For those on Facebook and YouTube, the potential of today, curiosity of tomorrow. What is today? What is today? If you were to find the definition of today, it probably would tell you it's not tomorrow. So you know what? I am curious now to go look up the word today. What is today? What is today by definition? Let's go look it up and see what it says. Today by definition, today, an adverb, on or in the course of this present day. Today means this present day. This present day, right now, is all we have. Good morning, y'all. Grand rising to y'all. Shalom to y'all as well. Today is really all you have. We have the memory of yesterday. We have no idea what's going to happen tomorrow. We don't even know what's going to happen 5 minutes from now. All we have is today, right now, this minute. And if that is the case, ladies and gentlemen, then how are you supposed to live your today? What did you do this morning when you get up? You know, one of the things that I do, a lot of people have a system, a routine, how they live their life. Some of you are well organized, well ordered. You prepare your day from yesterday. You prepare for tomorrow. So you got your clothes out, everything. You know what you're going to wear. You have everything ready, set. You got up, you take a shower. You brush your teeth, you put on lotion, put on cologne, you comb up your face, comb up your hair, put on your makeup for the ladies. And then you come out, you might grab something to eat, you go to work. And work seems to be what get most of us out of bed in the morning, because we are conditioned and programmed to pay bills. Even from school days, you are conditioned and programmed. Go to school. Why? So that you can get an education. Why? So that you can get a good job. And the epitome of the American dream is that you buy a house, maintain that house, and you buy some stuff, and maybe have a few shillings in the bank. And if you are a dreamer, you might dare to dream for your children's children. And that's life. And you rich people never had enough, because they're in a dilemma with themselves. They have gotten over the poverty line. They have gotten over the mundane system and the programming of how money works. And they got to a different level now. So they're making a lot of money. But now the problem is greed. The problem now for them is, okay, how can I make my money make more money? And it's okay. Listen to me. I'm not knocking you if you're rich. I'm not knocking you if you go to work and you get up out of bed. I'm opening up your mind to see things. Please see the different perspective here. So they're thinking about making more money. But as you make more money, you have to pay taxes, because the government taxes that money that you make. But you don't want to pay taxes. So what you do now, you find a way to evade the tax, to get around it by putting your money someplace else, buying more houses than you need, buying more cars than you need, because you have to have a place where the money's going. And so you're constantly, every single day, thinking about money. And yes, you said you got more time and you got more freedom to be able to go out and do this. But how much time and freedom do you really spend with your family? How much time do you really spend not thinking about money? Will you ever get to the place where enough is enough? Will you ever get to that place? So let's go back to the mindset of those who get up in the morning. We all are programmed like that. We got to pay the bill. The mortgage is coming up. The rent is coming up. The light bill is coming up. The car insurance is coming up. The food bill is coming up. So when we get up in the morning, we're thinking we got to go to work. And that's why when we are sick, no matter if you're sick, you still got to get up and go to work, because you know you can't afford to lose a day. Most people in America today live paycheck to paycheck. Most people in America today is one check away from homelessness. Right? One paycheck away from devastation. One paycheck away from being behind. And so our mindset in this system that was etched out for us is to get up, go to work, get up, go to work. And when you create that atmosphere and that system within your mind, vicariously, by default, your indecisions and decisions that you made is automatically passed down to those who are watching you. We learn by watching and doing. Blessed are they that do. We learn by doing. So we do what our parents did. You know, I grew up watching my parents. They owned the restaurants. And I've learned over the years that they didn't own the restaurant. The restaurant owned them. And they go to work and they work very hard because they wanted their children to have the life they never had. They wanted their children, ladies and gentlemen, to have the life they never had, just like you want your children to have the life you never had. And so you go out there and you grind and you put in the work. And you buy the nice house and you buy the nice cars and you set up college funds and you set up a little thing for them for a rainy day. And you work very, very hard to maintain that. And your life is in the things you do. If you're taking notes, I want you to write this down. I would say you are, but I want you to make it personal. I want you to write, I am the subtotal of my everyday actions. I'll give you some time. I am the subtotal of my everyday actions. In other words, what you're thinking about, you are. You are what you think about. I want you to do an experiment, starting in your house, and then go out to a supermarket or go to church or wherever you go where people are gathered, and just watch. Just pay attention to how people move, how they operate. You'll find out, here's a better one. Here's a better one. Go to a restaurant. You could go by yourself or you could go with someone. I'd rather you go by yourself so you can observe. And I want you to watch people while they're eating, while they're communicating together. If you can listen to some of the conversation that is having. People are talking about sports, investments. People are talking about life. If you look at two people who's supposed to be married and they go out and watch them around the table and see if they can not touch their phone once, or see if they can sit down and really look into each other's eyes. By observing people, you can tell, man. You can tell the kind of lifestyle, the kind of life they have. Look at the facial expression on people. I don't know if you take the time when you walk around to really look at people's face. And I'm talking about people, rich people, poor people, middle class people. Just look at their faces. And you can look at some rich people and they have everything going for them. I mean, they got money, fame, business. But if you look at their faces, they're not happy. There's something that is missing. The rich young man came to Yahushua and he says, what good things must I do to inherit eternal life? He has enough sense to know that he must do some good things. What good things must I do in order to inherit eternal life? And Yahushua says, if you must enter into life, keep the commandments. There is something that you have to do. Write this down. There's something I have to do. There's something that you have to do. And everything in your life is a result of something you are doing or something you are not doing. So you got to look at your life and says, which commandments of Yahweh am I not doing? Because life, ladies and gentlemen, is about principles. I try teaching that to my 7 children. And one thing I've realized, ladies and gentlemen, is that when you're in the thick of things, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to find that it's easily neglected. That when you have something and you have it in abundance, it's easy to take that something for granted. And that's why today is so important. Today is so important because you do not have the power to change yesterday. Write that down. I don't have the power to change my yesterday. Write that down. But by faith, you can change, you can see your tomorrow. You can predict your tomorrow. Because faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. And hope is in the heart, it's in the mind. You can vision. Because the greatest wealth, the greatest power of wealth today, ladies and gentlemen, is the imagination. I think his name is Myron Goldman, if I said it right. I've learned some things from this guy. If you don't know who he is, let me make sure I'm getting his name right. Myron Goldman, I think his name is. Let me make sure. Yep. What's his name here? Let's see. Let's make sure. And I'm going to. Yep. Myron Golden. I've learned some things from these men who have come up out of the cracks into their today. And they have the ambition to share with us their yesterday and their today and the trajectory of their tomorrow. And you have to take things, ladies and gentlemen, from others. You have to take and learn from others. You want to be rich? Go study the rich. You want to be an engineer? Go study the engineer. I used to tell my children these things. What do you want to be? I don't want you to be what daddy wants you to be, what mommy wants you to be. What do you want to be? What do you want to do? I don't care what it is. But if that is what you want to do it now. Work at it now. Follow the principles. Obey the laws that surround the things you want to do. And watch success come at you like lightning in a rainstorm. I'm learning these things. I'm putting them into practice. And they have changed my life. And I can honestly say, I'm not in need of anything. I want some things, but I'm not in need of anything. Because I've learned the secret to abundance. Children of Yahushua, I want you to write this down. Abundance is my birthright. To look at yourself in the mirror, sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, you have to deprogram yourself. And one way I do this, ladies and gentlemen, is to look myself in the mirror and look into my own eyes, like I'm looking into yours right now, and tell myself, I am better than I was yesterday. And tell myself, I will be a multimillionaire. And tell myself, I will. I can. You have to deprogram yourself. So what are you telling yourself, ladies and gentlemen, today? Because today is your tomorrow, whether you believe it or not. If you get the chance to live tomorrow, it will only be today. And I'm glad for my yesterday because I can learn from my yesterday. I can learn from my yesterday. I can make the provision and the change that I need to make for my today so I can ensure my tomorrow. There's a scripture that says, go to the ants. Go to the ants. They don't have generals. They don't have leaders. But together they understand that if they work together, wow. And each ant work for the betterment of the next ant. because they understand that if they work together, they can create an underground dynasty, man. Majestic tunnels to protect themselves. They think of everything. If water was to come in, the water should come in and flow. They think about how the air flows through all of these things. Who gave them the know-how to do these things? The same God who created you. And you must understand that the very word Father means source. And if he's a source, if the word Father means source, that means he is the electric box by which you plug in. Think of yourself like a cell phone. You got all the information. You got everything you need in here at your fingertip. But without power, without energy, without electricity, you can't recharge. You can't stay afloat. And so you need to be plugged in to the source. And when you plug into the source, man, you can charge up, and you can probably go 24 hours, 48 hours before you need to recharge again. To remember and to acknowledge the fact that you need to be recharged. And to be recharged is to be charged in this God. The potential of today. By one thought, which create one action, can start a chain reaction on the prosperity of your life, both mentally and physically. A journey of 1,000 steps begins with one. And if you decide to take that step, ladies and gentlemen, if you desire to take that step, the potential of you today can be enormous. And one way to live today is not only to deprogram yourself from the voices and how we were programmed to think differently, but to think for yourself and make decisions for yourself. One way to program yourself for today is to learn from your yesterday. Write this down. I must learn from my yesterday. I must learn from my yesterday. But here's one of the most important lessons that you can learn. You can learn from somebody's yesterday. The power of leverage. Man, I wish I learned these things 20, 30 years ago. There's a saying, no man is an island and no man stand alone. You know, we hear the word self-made millionaire. I guarantee you, ladies and gentlemen, that not one self-made millionaire did it by him or herself. There was a lot of trials. There were a lot of errors. There were a lot of people telling them, go there, go here. There was a lot of examples that had to be followed. When they use the word self-made, it's just that they motivate themselves. They didn't need someone else to motivate them. They put a barrier, put a blinder on those people who are saying, no, this won't work, or no, that won't work. You got to walk through life sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to your goals and dreams and aspirations, your God. You have to walk in blinders because there will be always someone telling you what to do, how to do it, and how you're not doing. And you might listen to those people and come off course. You have to know when to listen and why you should listen. And you have to understand his voice. Knowing his voice is what is most important. So the question now, it boils down to this. Do you know his voice? That's the question now. Do you know his voice? Deuteronomy is a powerful book. The Mashiach quotes from this book a lot. As you go through this journey, ladies and gentlemen, you must understand what this God said. He said, I am with you. I will be with you. And he will multiply you and he will make you strong. And you have to understand his voice in your life. And understand where he's taking you and why. Deuteronomy chapter 4 verse 1 said, Now therefore hearken, O Yahosharel, unto the statutes and unto the judgment which I teach you for to do them, that he may live and go in and possess the land which Yahweh, your Elohim, is giving you. You shall not add unto the words which I command you, neither shall you diminish aught from it, that you may keep the commandments of Yahweh, your Elohim, which I command you today. Your eyes have seen what Yahweh did because of Baal Peor, for all the men that follow Baal Peor, Yahweh thy Elohim has destroyed them from among you. Baal Peor. Who is Baal Peor? Baalpeor. That's another god. That is when the children of Yahosharel coming out of Egypt with their belief system from Egypt, when this God said, thou shalt have no other gods before me, they still held on to their belief system. One of the most destructive things you could ever do, ladies and gentlemen, is hold on to your old way of thinking. To grow in today, you have to learn from yesterday and create your today for tomorrow. And it takes you recognizing your today and what role and what you are in your today. You have to take a look at your today and you have to take responsibility for your today. That everything that's happening in your life right now, may it be somebody else's fault or some reason or some catastrophe or whatever it may be that got you to that place of today, you must acknowledge it and take responsibility for it. By saying, it is what it is. Write that down. It is what it is. Because you can't change what it is. You can only change you. And when you change you, ladies and gentlemen, the circumstances around you will change. In order for things to change, you have to change. I got that one from Jim Rohn. in order for things to change for you, ladies and gentlemen, you have to change. My daughter's 18 years old, and she's the youngest of the 7. She just graduated high school. Thank you, Yao. She's looking to go to college. And being my last baby and her mother's only child, I sheltered her a lot. She doesn't have a lot of worldly experience. We kept her close. As much as we're trying to keep her safe, it could be devastated in her a lot of years because she had no experience. And so now she's dating. She's dating this young man, and the experience is very new for her. It's first boy she ever dated. And she watched mommy and daddy, and she watched her sisters and stuff, and she see how we relate and the fun that we have, and she sees all of that, and she wants that with her boyfriend now. And my wife and I had to sit her down and say, listen, how long have you been dating? You've been dating a month, maybe 2 months now? You cannot have what daddy and mommy have now. We've been together over 23 years. We've been married 19 years. It took some time for us to get to this place. That's 23 years you're looking at right now. The good thing about you, baby, is that you have 23 years of experience at your fingertips. We can guide you. But we cannot give you 23 years in length and time. And so you have to give your relationship time. And my daughter believes she's the more active one. She's the one reaching out, making all the calls. And I said, well, first and foremost, you're dealing with a culture differences. Second, you have to understand and learn and grow in what you have in front of you. Because until you deal with what's in front of you, you will never get to what Mom and I have. Now, when I was growing up, I dated lots of women. Went around the track a couple of times with different women. Some of my boys did the same thing. Some of my daughters did the same thing. They date men. The devastation in dating a lot of men and the devastation in dating a lot of women and sleeping around was the conditioning of our minds. I didn't realize it till my later years. When you date other men and you just keep dating, you're not committed to one guy, you just keep dating because you're trying to find the right guy. What you're really creating within yourself, in your psyche, is that if it doesn't work out, go get another guy. That's why most people move from job to job, place to place. They start a business. And it's not working out the way they expected. They're turning around the money the way they expect. So they move to the next job or the next business or the next idea. You find yourself being boom, 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 jumping around. And then time passes you by and you realize you have nothing. Dating is a condition of the mind that if things doesn't work, you just move on to the next one. A plan B, you will hear people say this all the time. And I used to say, man, here's my plan B. And what you don't realize is that you're conditioning your mind. So a man thinketh, so is the man. As long as you have a plan B, your plan A will not work. Write that down. As long as you have a plan B, your plan A will not work. Now, why is that, you say? Because your mind will never be devoted to your plan A, because there's a plan B. And when push comes to shove and things get a little difficult, plan B is looking a little bit awesome over here. There's a guy on Facebook. He's TikTok, YouTube. He's a barber. His name is Vic. Young kid. I'm older than him, but he's inspired me. He's like, I'm very inspired by him, and I'm thinking that I'm going to do the things he does because he's a barber and I'm a barber, and he goes out and he gives free haircuts and he just have conversation with people. And I said, what a wonderful ministry, and I'm going to imitate him. So Vic, if you're out there, man, and you're hearing me, or anybody who knows Vic, let him know that he's an inspiration to me. And it's something that I want to do by following in his footsteps and go out there and put a chair out and just cutting people here and just having that conversation because it changed lives. Vic said, we think, and I quote, he says, the grass is not greener on the other side. He said, the problem is that you're not watering the grass on your side of the fence. And you're not putting manure, you're not mulching, you're not taking care of the grass on your side of the fence. So you keep looking over the other side of the fence. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, the grass is greener over there. Why? Because it is left to grow. It is left unattended, so sometimes it grows, and it's attended because it's purposely left like that so it can grow back up. So the grass is always greener. But when you go over there, you're going to realize that the same requirement that is needed on the other side is the same requirement that's needed on this side. And that's what I'm trying to say to you. Your plan B takes away from your plan A. Water the grass in your side of the fence. Focus on where you are now. Focus on what you're doing. Stop looking left, stop looking right. Don't mind what somebody else is doing and how great they're doing and how fast or successful they are. Be successful for you. Be your own competition. That's one of the biggest problems why most people fail. They kept looking at the Joneses. Be your own competition. I don't want to be better than you. I care not to be better than you, to be smarter than you, to preach better than you. I couldn't care less. I want to be better than I was yesterday. That's what I want to do. I want to be better than I was yesterday. I want to be more calm. I want to be more excited. I want to get my point across more. I want to find ways to affect your souls. Let me tell you what I've learned and what I told my wife the other day. I said, I realize that Yahweh put a gift in me, and I just want to use it in every areas of my life, which I'm doing now. But I wanted to go out and devote my time to doing something to serve my gift to others. You know, when you serve your gift, it rewards you. Your gift, Yahweh said, will make room for you. The scripture says your gift, Yahweh said he put a gift in you, and if you only just grow your gift, prune your gift, water your gift, get better, your gift will make room for you. It will put you before kings. And I see it already. You know, when we open our second barbershop, the mayor, the members of the chambers of commerce came out to our opening. If you look at it from a small scale, the mayor came to our grand opening. That is kings coming to us. And they left. Next door to me is the chief of police. He's no longer the chief of police. He has another position higher now. He's a director of something. He retired from chief of police and he's up there. But we met 2 days ago outside, and he said to me, he says, man, I saw the mayor, and the mayor are still talking about your grand opening. He said that's the best grand opening he ever went to. He even signed my picture board. I have a picture board inside it with a big lion looking up, and I have everybody signing, and he signed it. He stayed, he ate burger. You see, at our grand opening, we didn't just have a grand opening, cut the ribbon, say a few words, and leave. I was outside. I was outside barbecuing, barbecue burgers, hot dogs, and chicken. I was out there doing that. Me. I took my jacket off. I was out there dressed up nice, barbecue. When they came, they met me with the what do you call it, spatula, or what do you call it thing? They met at me and I shook their hands. I said, I'll be right in. I was out there mingling with the people. I was providing food for them because I could do the barbecue thing. And then when everything was said and done, and I went in and put on my suit top, and I looked so fine. And when they saw me, they're like, woo! The mayor went, woo! And the chambers of commerce, the people in all the elected officials, woo! You look nice. I said, well, I knew you were coming. I had to look right for you. And I looked nice. I stood out because I knew what I was doing. I was doing a grand opening. And I didn't do it to impress the mayor. I didn't do it to impress the chambers of commerce. I do it to serve them. I wanted to serve them because Yahushua said, service to others leads to greatness. So I have the secret. And that's why I don't have a plan B. Because ladies and gentlemen, I am a servant. If you believe that, and if you want to accept that today, then I want you to write that down. Only if you believe it. Because the word servant seems like a very bad derogatory word, especially for a black person. Because our ancestors were slaves. So to use the word servant seems in our mind to put us in such a lower place, but you don't realize that you are at the highest place and you don't know it. Not the slavery of like what happened to us because of our disobedience to the Most High. Our ancestors' slavery and our slavery today is not a result of some nations or some white supremacists have power over us. That's not why we're in slavery. Read your Bibles, ladies and gentlemen. You're in slavery because you disobey the commandments of the Most High God. Deuteronomy 28. Actually, let's go to Deuteronomy 6 first. Deuteronomy 6:6. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart, and thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shall talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou rise up. And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thy hand, and they shall be a frontlet between thy eyes, that thou shalt write them, and thou shalt write them upon the posts of thy house and of thy gate. And it shall be when the Most High God shall have brought thee into the land which he sware unto thy fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, to give thee great and goodly cities which thou buildest not, and houses full of all good things which thou fillest not, and wells digged which thou diggest not, vineyards and olive tree which thou planted not. When thou shalt have eaten and be full, then beware lest thou forget the Most High, which brought thee forth out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage. Thou shalt fear the Most High to serve him, and shalt swear by his name. You shall not go after other gods, of the gods of the people which are round about you. For the Most High is jealous God among you, lest the anger of the Most High be kindled against thee, and destroy thee from off the face of the earth. You shall not tempt the Most High as you tempt him in Masha. You shall diligently keep the commandment of the Most High, and his testimonies and his statutes which he has commanded thee. Thou shalt do that that which is right and good in the sight of the Most High, that it may be well with thee, and that thou mayest go in and possess the good land which the Most High sware unto thy fathers, to cast out all thine enemies from before thee, as the Most High hath spoken. Okay? That is what he says. All right, look at this now. Deuteronomy 7:9. Know therefore that the Most High God, Yahweh, he is Elohim, he's our God, the faithful Elohim, which keepeth covenant and mercy with them that love him and keep his commandment to 1,000 generations. So the love for him is to keep his commandment, and he keep his mercy and his covenant with us who love him. But what happened in Deuteronomy chapter 28? Deuteronomy chapter 28. This God swear by himself to give us goodly and godly stuff that will keep us forever, but we have broken his covenant. Listen to this. Deuteronomy 28. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of Yahweh, to observe and to do all his commandment, which I command thee this day, that the Most High will set thee on high above all the nation of the earth. And all these blessings shall come upon thee and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Most High. Blessed shall thou be in the city, blessed shall thou be in the field, blessed shall thou be the fruit of thy womb. And you can read that whole 28 there. If we hearken. But when we did not, listen to this. Let me go down here. Okay, now listen to this. Verse 15, Deuteronomy 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of Yahweh thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon you and overtake you. Cursed shall you be in the city, cursed shall you be in the fields, cursed shall be thy basket and thy stores, cursed shall be the fruit of thy body and the fruit of thy land, the increase of thy kin and thy flocks of thy sheep. Cursed shall thou be when thou comest in, and cursed shall thou be when thou goest out. The Most High shall set upon thee curses, vexation, and rebuke in all that thou settest thine hand unto for to do, until thou be destroyed, and until you perish quickly, because of the wickedness of thy doing, whereby thou hast forsaken me. The Most High shall make thee pestilent clave unto thee, until he have consumed thee from the land, whither thou goest to possess. The Most High shall smite thee with consumption and with fever. With what? Consumption. You know, when you think about black people spending today, we spend so much money on things, cars, clothes. That's why we work, and as we work and get some money, it's gone. You can always tell. You go to tax time, when you get your taxes, you get a lump sum of money, you feel rich. And because you've been deprived for so long, you feel like you need to buy this car and buy this clothes so that you can get the status of worthiness. And you don't realize that it's designed that way for you. The Most High shall smite thee with consumption and with fever and with inflammation and with extreme burning and with the sword and with blasting and with mildew. And they shall pursue thee until thou perish. And thy heavens that is over thy head shall be brass, and the earth that is under thee shall be iron. And the Most High shall make the rain of thy land powder, and dust from heaven shall it come down upon thee until thou be destroyed. And the Most High shall cause thee to be smitten before thy enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against them and flee 7 ways before them. And thou shall be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. And shall what? Be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. That's us, y'all. That's us. And thy carcass shall be meat unto all fowls of the air and unto the beasts of the earth, and no man shall fray them away. That's us. Look at your history. The Most High will smite thee with the boach of Egypt, and with the emerald, and with the scrub, and with the tick, wherefore thou cannot be healed. Lyme disease and all these different things. The Most High shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart. These are the things that happened to us in slavery. We are the Middle Passage people. It's us. If you read what he says, let's keep going here. Let's go to verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment and a proverbs and a byword amongst all the nation, whether the Most High shall lead thee. Thou shalt carry much seed out into the field, and shall gather but little in, for the locust shall consume it. Who are the locusts in our lives today? We go out and we work the overtime just to try to keep our head above water. But every time we keep our head above the water and try to save ourselves from drown, there's an overnight scheme all worked out that's trying to push you down. That comes from Beres Hammond. We sing songs about it, y'all. Something is pushing you back down. Every time you try to raise your head and breathe, you take a breath too, and something pushes you right back down. And you can't understand. You work and you work and you work and you have no peace. Because there's a curse over you. You read, man, just read this whole thing. Let's jump up to 15. Let's jump up to 58 here. If thou wilt not observe to do all the words of this law that are written in this book, that thou mayest fear fear his glorious and fearful name. What's his glorious and fearful name? Yahweh, not the Lord thy God. That's not a name, that's a title. And the very word Lord here is not the name of our God. It's the actual name of Baal-Por. Baal-Por was called Lord. If you do an extensive study on the word Lord, you will see that every time you use the word Lord, you think you're calling upon your God, but you're actually calling on another God. That's what deception is, ladies and gentlemen. It's put in your Bibles. The words are there, but there's some things that was taken, miscrewed, and twisted so that you would never call upon the name of Yahweh. The reason why we're still in slavery today is because we don't know the God we serve. You've been calling upon Jesus all the days of your life, and you've been saying Jesus is God, but you don't know that Jesus is not God. If you ever read the New Testament, if you're a New Testament reader, if you're a reader of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and I'm telling you, these are not even the true writings. But if you ever were to read it, you will see in it that Jesus never, ever once said he's God. He said, I and the Father are one. He never said he's God. Never once. As a matter of fact, if you read it, the New Testament, and if you read it really carefully, you will see that he said, only the Father alone is God. And if you're truly reading it and look at all the disciples in the scriptures, when they pray or they greet, what do they do? What do they say? Glory to the name of the Father and his Son. You notice they never say Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. You notice they never greet anyone like that. Go to the whole New Testament and see. There's only one place in there where it talks about the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. It's Matthew 28, 18. Matthew 28, 18, 19, I believe it is. And that was put in there to throw you off, right? There's no three in one God, ladies and gentlemen. God is not a triune God. The Trinity doctrine is a pagan doctrine. That's why it's in every religion. Did you know that the virgin birth and the Mary and the virgin birth, the mother of God, and the father, the father, mother, child, is not only in the Christian religion, it's in every religion. Did you know that the Trinity belief, our triunity belief, unites you with pagan gods? The Trinity doctrine is pagan. And if you're a Trinitarian, you are joining yourself with other gods. Go to the history. Just look at the history. This God, he said, thou shalt have no other gods before me. And that's why he took his children out of Egypt, because he can't be worshipped amongst other gods. His name, one of the biggest problems today why we're still in slavery is because we don't know his name. You see, when you want a life altering change, call upon the name of Yahweh and see what happens in your life. I know someone said I disagree. It's okay. You have that right. You have the right to disagree with me. That's what makes me different from any other preachers that you might hear, because they're looking for you to agree with them. You have the right. It is not for me to take your right to disagree, then, because I'm not your God. All I'm asking you to do, though, is to go research it for yourself. Now, let me show you something. Let me show you something. How can I help you, son?
I was saying, we're going to a pool today?
You interrupt my broadcast to talk to me about pool. You can talk to mom about that. Yes, we're going to a pool today. I got a pool in the backyard, but it's not ready yet. So we're going to our friend's pool. So that's where he's excited. I didn't tell him about it till today. So, okay, let me show you something. If you say, for those who read the scriptures, you just got to read Matthew 17, verse 1 through 3. And tell me what Jesus said. Now, you said, Isaiah said he's God. Now, I'm telling you to go and listen to what Jesus said and then come back to me. John 17:3, amongst other scriptures. I can give you a whole bunch more, but like I said, I'm not here. I just want to set you on the right road. As a matter of fact, let me ask you guys a question. Did you know that the letter J did not enter the English alphabet till the year 1524, sometime after the year 1524. Now, in the year 1524, I did a chronologically looked at some historical facts the other day. You can find that on my next message down here on my page. In the year 1524, what was happening in the year 1524? The year 1524, Martin Luther, around that time, started a Reformation, or what's called Protestant. He was protesting. He was protesting that the Catholic Church had some issues, that they were not preaching biblical sound doctrine. So he found 95 issues. It was more than that, but he stopped at 95 and he nailed it to the church, protesting that the church is misleading the people. Now, that was unheard of. And again, you have to look at the historical evidence, because at that point, the papacy had controlled all of Christendom, all of the belief system, all of the gods is incorporated in the Roman Catholic Church. And since they were the rulers at the time, and still the rulers today, whether people don't believe it or not, the papacy rules the world. It is the beast of Revelations, but I mean, who's going to believe that anyway? Let's go to 15. Let's go to 1516 AD. Erasmus produced a Greek-Latin parallel New Testament. And in 1522, Martin Luther translate the Latin Bible of the Erasmus produced in Greek and Latin. He translated into German so that the Germans could understand and read. But you have to understand, up until this point, the scriptures was not given to the common man. The common man couldn't read the Bible. It was controlled. You have to go to the year 500 to see what was happening. So in the year 500, let me see here. This is BC. Let's go to the year 500. Come on, stop. The year, where is this? Yes, year 500 AD. In the year 500 AD, the scriptures has been translated into over 500 languages. So the scriptures was going out to all the different churches, all the different language, all throughout the world. But in the year 600 AD, the Latin was the only language allowed for scripture. So when the papacy, under its pope and rulers and authority, they collected the scriptures and they were destroying and burning and killing and mutilating people. Look at the history. It's written in the history book, man. I mean, you don't have to believe nothing I say, right? And so the word was condensed back into Latin, right? So if you continue down this journey, you will see when Martin Luther in the 1500s, he protests. To be a Protestant is to be one who said, wait a minute, something is not right. A Protestant is one who says, thus say the Most High. But Protestantism has become Christianity. And though Martin Luther protests against the Catholic Church, the papacy, he wasn't a Protestant. He was a Catholic until the day of his death. All right. So there's some things that you have to look at. I'm going to give you this and you're going to do your own research, right? Because I promise that I'm not going to go down this road, but I see that you're genuine, Mr. T.Y. Young. I see that you're genuine and I see that you want to know something. So let me give you some research. Without getting too deep and getting off my topic right now, let me give you some research. Go and research a couple of things. I want you to go research a couple of things. I want you to go research which day God, Yahweh, said is the Sabbath day. And then ask yourself the question, are you keeping that day today? Second, I want you to go research the origin of the names of the days of the week. The origin. What is the origin of the names of the days of the week? Because in the scriptures, in the beginning, Yahweh did not name any day but one, which he called Sabbath, his rest. And lastly, I want you to go research the letter J. The origin of the letter J when it came into existence. Because if you do that, then you will see that this Jesus that you worship, this Jesus that's written in the scriptures, is not the Jesus, is not the Mashiach. This Jesus that you worship as God is not the Mashiach. After you do that, I want you to read Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. And I want you to just study for yourself what Jesus said. And then you come back to me. I must move on. All right. Verse 59 of Deuteronomy chapter 28. Then the Most High will make thy plague wonderful, and the plague of thy seed, even great plagues, and a long continuous and sore thickness, and of a long continuance. Moreover, he will bring upon thee all the disease of Egypt, which thou was afraid of, and they shall clave unto thee. Also every sickness and every plague, which is not written in the book of this law, them will the Most High bring upon thee until thou be destroyed. And you shall be left few in numbers, whereas you were as the stars of heaven for multitude, because thou wouldest not obey the voice of the Most High God. And it shall come to pass that as the Lord, the Most High, rejoice over you to do you good and to multiply you, so the Most High will rejoice over you to destroy you and to bring you to naught, and you shall be plucked from off the land whither thou goest to possess, plucked off the land. And the Most High shall scatter thee. Listen to this now. And the Most High shall scatter thee amongst all the people from the one end of the earth even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. And among these nations shalt thou find no cease, neither shall the sole of thy feet have rest. But the Most High shall give thee there a trembling heart, and failing of eyes, and sorrow of mind, and thy life shall be hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shalt have none assurance of thy life. In the morning thou shalt say, would Yahweh, it would be evening. And at evening thou shalt say, would Yahweh, it be morning. For the fear of thine heart wherewith thou shalt fear, and for the sight of thine eyes which thou shalt see. And the Most High shall bring thee into Egypt again. Listen to this now. Bring thee into Egypt again with ships. By the way, wherefore I have spoken to thee, that thou shalt see it no more again. And there shall he, he says, this is powerful. By the way, wherefore I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there he shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwoman, and no man shall buy you. So you're not in slavery because of some white person or some white supremacist or white racist. No, you're in slavery because you've gone away from the precepts and commands and judgment of the Most High. And because he have not spoken to us, we have lost our ways. But now he's restoring to us the truth. We're in the age of information, and that's why I said to you people, go and research for yourself. Don't let some guy on TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube just tell you something. Go research it. Come to your own conclusion. But most important, go pray about it. Go ask this God if this guy is speaking truth. And he'll tell you. And he said, if you come to him, you will know what's cost you away. So come and join yourself to him and watch him bring you into his fold. Okay? So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I will end my program here. You determine your today, man. You didn't set the boundaries of today, but you determine for yourself what you're going to do today. You determine that. The question is, what will be your today? What will you do today? What will you make of today right now? It's up to you. It's up to you. This person here is Rudy, is just giving you all scriptures. Giving you sound doctrine. What will you do? Because in everything you do, you have to make a choice. All right. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen.